and entertainment. These open spaces were recorded not only as environmental features, but they became spaces for temporary exhibitions as well as spaces for democratic expression against the colonial rule. The Maidans of Mumbai played an important role in promoting democratic aspirations and supporting democratic movement of people across the different social groups. Similar public parks, avenues and open spaces are found in most European cities. However, the history of creation of these spaces is often painful and is largely unknown to us. Speaking about Paris, for example, the urban renovation was a vast public works project commissioned by Napoleon III and directed by his officer Haussmann between 1853 and 1870. It included demolition of several extremely crowded, unhealthy areas of Paris and creation of wide avenues, squares and parks, as well as construction of aqueducts, sewers and fountains. The project was completed only in 1927. This beautiful central part of Paris, with its public gardens and museums, is world famous. However, building it has caused displacement of thousands of families, rich and poor, which were thrown onto the battlefield. Central Park of New York is another iconic public park in a large global city. This was among the most ambitious projects undertaken by New York City and was designed by the landscape architect Olmsted in the late 19th century. The stated objective was to provide to the public a green open space for recreation. In the process of building the park, a large number of black families living in the area were displaced with no legal recourse. At initiation, the building of Central Park was also opposed by many of the elected members of the City Hall on a variety of grounds, including extremely high costs. In the long run though, just like Paris, Central Park has come to define New York in many ways. In New York, more than 700 public parks, playgrounds and open spaces were created by Administrator Robert Moses during his tenure between 1925 and 1945 through forcible and even illegal acquisition of private property. He used public funds for creating those public spaces in the name of creating employment for the people during the economic depression years. No such project of public importance has been undertaken in Mumbai in the last 60 years by the municipal corporation. When there were ample open land available along with necessary legal provisions for acquiring the land. Mumbai suburbs were annexed to the city in 1951 and also in 61. These are poor in terms of public infrastructure, public open spaces, public housing and public transport. It is essential for all of us to look at the reasons for our failure to build a modern suburban area that prioritize public. Reinvention is the need for cities to survive and grow. Initiatives to transform a city must not be judged on narrow, short-term outcomes. Sometimes we have been guilty of, as witnessed by the glut of flowers and unending traffic jams. Rather, I had like to argue that projects must be judged based on whether the project results in an improvement in the city in terms of providing truly better public facilities. While flyovers and bridges may have superficial characteristics of public infrastructure, in reality, the gains from such projects often accrue to a disproportionate use. For example, people who drive cars at the expense of vast public. A major hurdle to rejuvenation is seen as the rights of individual citizens that may be violated. Again, the evaluation must be based on the benefits to the public that such projects offer. Modern legal and judicial systems and dispute resolution mechanisms offer ways of working out solutions for individual citizens that may be affected. Citizens groups can act as watchdogs that safeguard the interest of every citizen, but must not act for the benefit of a few at a cost to a larger majority. It is vital that we recognize the importance of public spaces and act to unite our city on that dimension. Mumbai also has a long history of public infrastructure. Universities, hospitals, technical and medical institutions that originated with the colonial government and were often funded by public-minded and public-spirited citizens. Mumbai was always in the forefront of innovation in terms of public infrastructure. It was the first to introduce modern public water supply and sanitation schemes. It had one of the finest public transport services. The Bombay Improvement Trust undertook public housing schemes to provide affordable housing. Mumbai was also the first city to have electric supply as well as gas plants to supply energy to homes and illuminate the streets. In the colonial era, private companies provided many public services, while the government provided the necessary framework for them to operate as well as protect the consumers and citizens. Historically, the scarcity of land for growing cities was always a challenge to Mumbai. The creation of land through reclamation and management of available land was extremely crucial. Land was also the most important source of revenue for municipal administration. Administration created systems for land market to operate, which was never there in the Indian system. Establishing effective administration and legal system was a process of constant innovation and reforms. One can witness the love for administration of Mumbai and the trust in the governance in the text of the first ever book written by a Mumbaiker. Govind Narayan Mandavkar, his Mumbai Se Varnam in Marathi, is an authentic account of Mumbai's history. This famous book, published in 1863, is written with extreme respect and love for Mumbai. The book also includes a number of beautiful Marathi povadas and poems written by men and women that describe the grandeur and glory of colonial Mumbai. Intellectuals, traders, industrialists played a huge role in shaping of Mumbai. Rajabai Tower at the university campus is the best example. They also contributed wealth and energy to construct public libraries, public hospitals, and also public housing. EDD Charles were financed through special levy laid by on the cotton traders on each bale of cotton. Public-private partnership was the common model of funding public infrastructure during the colonial era. Mumbai was the most successful modern city in colonial India, known for its global orientation, public culture, and private enterprise spirit. The colonial administration, along with enlightened citizens, shaped Mumbai as a fine metropolis of 20th century. Every disadvantage associated with the location, be it limited land or surrounding marsh environment, was converted into an opportunity to thriving metropolises of the world. The colonial vision for Mumbai was to make the city Earth's primer in English, a slogan still found engraved on the corporation headquarters building. The question that comes to my mind is how did this change and how did Mumbai reach its present condition? Probably some of the decisions taken during the period from 1947 to 1960 played a big role in the changed character of the city. One such decision would have been to add 174 square kilometers of suburban area from Thane district to Mumbai along with its population in 1951. Population increased from 25 lakhs to 31 lakhs. Representation of organizations such as merchants, chambers and labor unions in the corporation was cancelled during the first ever election held for the corporation after independence. Rewind for a moment to the decade leading up to formation of the state of Maharashtra. These were turbulent years for Mumbai. It became a battleground for various social movements in contest with each other and with the state government of the period. The struggle was for identity, language, territory and political control over Mumbai. When this was decisively settled, Mumbai became the capital of Maharashtra, a state of Marathi-speaking people. State boundaries were drawn. I believe this period left a permanent imprint on Mumbai. The earlier free, cosmopolitan Mumbai, with a major focus on the economy, was lost forever. Private and public assumed a new meaning in political economy. The government of Maharashtra came to be dominated by members elected from rural areas. Mumbai elected people from different social groups that had fought each other on the issues of linguistic state. A power struggle among elected corporation members for control of Mumbai Corporation erupted soon. Very few had any respect for Mumbai as an economic powerhouse or as a cosmopolitan city with modern, vibrant public culture that needed sustenance and encouragement. The spirit of public-mindedness and cosmopolitan outlook of the administration changed to ferocious concern of individual elected members and their flawed electorate. Family and community started assuming dominant position over public. There was significant negative policy impact. The specific needs of Mumbai as a large, growing global city were not well understood by the provincial politicians who came to rule the state of Maharashtra. State policy did not recognize the special care that Mumbai needed. Whether it was the growing demand for housing or transportation or for the freedom to pursue new businesses. Instead, what was considered as necessary for other areas of the state was applied to Mumbai district without due thought. The role of the government also changed from that of supporting the free market to commanding and controlling it. The government also embarked upon creating a welfare state. A new legal framework was created for setting up public institutions and public corporations to manage a number of business ventures and provide services. Physical infrastructure, planning in urban and rural areas was brought under the monopoly of government bodies. As a direct consequence of this shift in priorities, the public sector employment in Mumbai rose substantially during 1961 to 1979. Overall employment in public sector rose from 3.3 lakhs to 6.32 lakhs in those 18 years. Employment in formal private sector in Mumbai at businesses that employed more than 25 people remained almost unchanged in this same period. The public sector became the main economic driver of Mumbai's economy. The state government enacted a number of laws to establish a common framework for development of cities in Maharashtra. 3 important laws passed in the first few years after the formation of Maharashtra had a major, mainly negative impact on Mumbai in following decades. These were the Maharashtra Regional and Town Planning Act, the Maharashtra Rent Control Act, and Maharashtra Housing and Area Development Act. These acts gave the state government power to control landowners, owners of rented properties, and construction industry. There is not enough time today to discuss the details of these acts. Undoubtedly, you have all witnessed the impact. Greater slums, an unauthorized development, and the total disappearance of a rental housing market are just 2 examples of the impact of these policies. The enactment of 3 acts and the constitution of various bodies such as MMRDA, Maharashtra Housing Board, and MIDC, each with a specific mandate over housing, industry, transportation, and other infrastructure, resulted in a fractured governance structure. Overlapping authority and lengthy and complex procedures led to extreme delays in decision making. Political and bureaucratic control of these public institutions is another serious issue. The number of urban local bodies in MMR, Mumbai metropolitan region around the core city of Mumbai has increased over the past 3 decades. MMR now has 8 municipal corporations, 9 municipal councils, and about 900 villages spread over an area of 4,350 kilometers, which is 10 times that of Mumbai. All these have direct or indirect connections with Mumbai. These cities and their municipal corporations are all interconnected in space, but almost disconnected in governance. As a result, governance of this vast area and its urban population has become an enormous challenge. There is little communication and cooperation among institutions